Let's get straight to the point. How can you make your brain crave studying the same way it craves social media? That's the real question. First, let's understand what's actually happening inside your head right now. Why can you scroll on TikTok for 3 hours without getting bored, but you can't focus on a book for even 15 minutes? The answer is one word: dopamine. Dopamine is a feel-good chemical your brain releases when something feels rewarding or enjoyable. And your brain is wired to chase that good feeling as if its survival depends on it. And this is where the problem begins. Your brain is basically having a dopamine feast because of perfectly designed short videos. Every time you scroll, you get something new within seconds. A joke, a dance, a shocking fact, a cute animal, no effort, just constant novelty and constant stimulation. Your brain is getting pure, concentrated dopamine. Now, while all of this is happening, where does studying sit on your pleasure scale? The answer is clear, at the very bottom. Books, notes, lessons. They all demand effort before they give you any kind of reward. They take time, they require focus. The dopamine reward from studying feels way too far away compared to the instant reward you get from TikTok. That's why studying doesn't feel attractive to your brain at all. So what's the solution? The solution has two main parts. And I can tell you, this works. Because I've seen so many students who used to label themselves as not made for studying completely change with these methods. Part 1. Reset your dopamine threshold. Think of your dopamine system like a scale that is completely out of balance right now. Your dopamine threshold is so high that only the fastest, most stimulating activities feel enjoyable anymore. So our first goal is to make this system healthy again. Start with a mini dopamine detox. Don't worry, I'm not talking about living in a forest for a month or doing something extreme. The goal is to slowly reset your sensitivity with small daily actions. Spend 15 minutes every day doing something completely boring. No phone, no music, no stimulation, just you and your thoughts. Go for a walk outside without your phone. Or if you need to, pull up a chair and stare at the wall. Let your mind wander, let it calm down naturally. When you try this for the first time, it will probably feel really difficult. Your brain will almost beg you to find something stimulating, and that's actually the first sign that you're on the right path. Your brain is going through a kind of withdrawal because it's not getting its usual overdose of dopamine. But after doing this every day for just 1 week, something interesting will start to happen. Your dopamine threshold will begin to drop. Suddenly, simpler things will start to feel enjoyable again. Your brain, which is used to a giant dopamine feast, will start becoming grateful for smaller rewards. But this is also where most people stop too early. Lowering your dopamine threshold is only half of the battle. We also need to move studying higher on your pleasure scale. Part 2. Turn studying into a dopamine-releasing activity. Now it's time to make studying something your brain actually wants to do. Start seeing your textbooks not as torture devices, but as treasure chests of knowledge. Because every page is full of information that can genuinely change the way you understand the world. Your brain is hungry for information. That's why you can easily watch videos like 5 psychology facts that will blow your mind without even noticing the time passing. So instead of fighting your brain, you need to create a reward system that works with it. Here's the method. Break your study material into small, easy, achievable pieces. After finishing one section, one topic, or even just 10 questions, immediately check it off or draw yourself a little star. For example, take one lesson topic and split it into smaller subtopics. Then, every time you finish one, put a check mark next to it. You'll be surprised by how much this can affect your desire to study. Even this tiny act of completion can trigger a small hit of dopamine in your brain. And your brain starts finding motivation to continue because it wants that little reward again. Part 3. Trick your brain with the Pomodoro technique. Now it's time to turn your focus time into a game. Use the Pomodoro technique. Work with full focus for 25 minutes. Then give yourself a 5-minute reward break. Why does this work? Because your brain loves countdowns and limited time challenges. Turn those 25 minutes into a game where the goal is simple: stay focused until the timer ends. But how do we increase dopamine during those 25 minutes? First, explain things out loud. Talk through the concepts you're learning as if you're teaching them to someone else. When you express information out loud, your brain processes it in a deeper way. It remembers it better, and that feeling of mastery gives you more dopamine than you might expect. Second, take notes by hand and use color. Use different colored pens and write your notes manually. The act of writing, combined with visual variety, stimulates different parts of your brain at the same time. This can make learning feel more enjoyable and help you stay focused for longer. With simple timing and small activity changes, you can turn studying into a much more dopamine-rich experience. Part 4. Connect learning to your real life and change your intention. The final and most important step is to connect what you're learning with things you already care about. If you're studying economics, ask yourself, why did my favorite tech brand raise its prices recently? If you're studying biology, connect the topic to how your body works when you lift weights at the gym. The most powerful method is this: don't study only because you have to. Study with a real intention. The moment you approach your books with curiosity instead of fear and stress, the whole experience changes. You're no longer just studying to get a grade. You're feeding your brain's natural hunger to understand, connect, and discover. You've probably seen people who spend time with their textbooks instead of their phones. People who seem completely dedicated to studying. That doesn't mean they're superhuman. And it doesn't mean they're different from you. They have the same dopamine system you do. The only difference is that they train their brain to connect studying with pleasure and satisfaction. Take back control. Now it's time to turn this theory into practice. Start small. Today, do just 15 minutes of dopamine detox. Tomorrow, try one focused 25-minute Pomodoro session and give yourself a small reward at the end. You'll see that within 2 weeks, you'll start noticing the change clearly. And within a month, you might even start looking forward to your study sessions. Remember, your brain is not broken. It has just been temporarily hijacked. Take back control of your dopamine, and you'll take back control of your future. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe. And if you want more videos like this, make sure to like the video. Thanks for watching.